Fuck that guy and his fucking YouTube videos. Stop listening to a man who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, you idiots!
Not gonna lie, that's how this feels. I'm finishing this. You can't stop me. Nobody can stop me. I'm getting this done. Listen, this is what you call Canadians for. We're here. We're the people of getting her done, alright? So what we're doing is we're getting her done. Sup? I'm finishing this. I'm finishing this stupid fucking Steve video. And I'm not sorry. Time for more Steve. I don't intend on watching, like, he did one not too long ago, the other day, last week, I guess, on his regular channel. That's, like, super gross and weirdly sexual transphobia nonsense. And I only, like, peeked at it for a second just to see what the hell was going on. And I'm like, ugh. So I don't think I'm gonna do that one. Unless you guys really like these, and in which case, fuck you. But I'll keep doing them. So, you guys let me know if we keep covering this, but I'm finishing this video because, I'm committed. I'm committed to the bit. I'm quiet? Am I? Alright, hold on. There, how's that? Is that a little... Nah, that doesn't really look like it's much better, does it? I am quiet. Get knocked. No, that shouldn't be like that. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. How's that? Are you still there? Is that better? Huzzah. Success? Great success? Peeps wouldn't mind so much if Steve stopped claiming he's an advocate for logic and reasoning. I'd wait for his why I Maga mathematic equation. Don't give him ideas. Are we good? Are we good? Alright, we're finishing this. We have like 30 minutes left. We're at an hour and 10. I put it back a couple of seconds because I don't remember what the hell he was saying. Yeah, we're here to suffer. We're here to suffer. That's what we're here for. Let's go. I put alcohol in my tea, so I'm ready. I'm ready this time. Let me make sure you guys can hear this. All right. I got my I am Canadian shirt on. It's probably backwards. Whatever. It's fine. Listen, when there's a, like we've said, when there's a dirty job that's related to fascism, you said, to quote our former MP, one of our provincial guys, Charlie Angus, whenever there's a dirty job to deal with fascists, you send the Canadian. Hi Chesh, I really enjoy your streams. I unsubbed from Steve when he posted the bullshit of no scientific evidence trans people exist. He posted what? I knew he was anti-trans, but he posted... What?! Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Fuck. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy our takes and our laugh at this absurdity, because realistically, that's all it deserves. God. Alright. Sorry, you threw me off. No science. Kill me. I take it back. I'm leaving. No, we're done. No. Goodbye. No, we're out. I'm leaving. No. I'm kidding. We'll... Fuck. You threw me for a loop. Alright. Gotta lock it. I got a hair in my mouth. Alright. Volcano show is on Saturday, so if anybody wants to watch anything educational, go over to Debate Hub. That's Debate Hub official. We cover volcanoes and we do, science over there. On the 24th, I also have Geo joining us to talk about what fascism actually is. Geo's great. We're going to have a good time. Slice Barcane is coming on the 22nd. Again, this is over on Debate Hub Official. And Top Ass Off is on Friday. Also, next Friday, here, not tomorrow, next Friday, Mani is going to be back. And we're going to have a dumb fuck Friday. So I'm looking forward to that, provided her computer is all functional. But I don't know if Dumbfuck Friday is back, but we are going to do one, not this Friday, not tomorrow, next Friday, here. So, he said that it's all social pressure. He didn't respond to any of the 3 studies that showed that you can actually determine who is and is not trans in a blind test. Oh my god. You can't just come in here into my chat, into my house, and drop that on my floor. Why? Good God. All right, well, let's move on. I appreciate that. We'll go and I'm not committing to going and watching that, but I'm not saying I won't. All right, I'm not. All right, let's get into this. I fixed the layout again. Over there is his live stream. I will show you real quick just because I'd like to point out how fucking incompetent this is. You can see this is the layout. So there's nothing going on. He took chat off. I guess he didn't like that chat was disagreeing with him, so he took it off the screen. And it's fugly anyway, so I fixed it. You're welcome.
What you think about a person individually, because whatever Trump as a man has done, if you cannot give me a rational, logical argument that is based upon facts and reason,
have a good day at work. If you cannot give me a logical argument as to why Trump is a bad person, or why Trump is a bad president, because I mean, I can do that. That's easy. Have you heard him talk about girls and dolls? What about the global stage in which America is plummeting? What about the irreparable damage that he's done to America's reputation across the world? What about the irreparable damage that he's done to the financial situation of hundreds of thousands of individual Americans, but also of America on the whole? I'm not even talking about the stock market, just what he's done to the economy, what he's done to the working class, and what he's done to the military-industrial complex. So, selling access to himself in the White House is literal corruption. Yeah, the current Qatar airplane. Like, more days that go by since this stream, the worse this stream looks. Like, this ages like milk. I cannot wait until, like, Trump is out of office. Eventually, it'll happen eventually. When Trump and his ilk are out of office one day, and I hope I'm still alive when that happens, because the amount of memes and, like, super cuts of, like, Trump just saying insane thing after insane thing over and over and over again, going to war with Greenland, trying to make Canada a 51st state, trying to send American troops into Mexico, like, a lot of these things are actually fucking insane. And yeah, his mic is, like, he's eating it. He's been consuming his mic this entire time.
Then I don't give a damn what you think about a person individually.
Oh, you're 100% right. The crypto, the Trump crypto coin, the $5 million or whatever to buy, like, a Trump gold card to gain citizenship. Like, the list is going on and on and on and on, and there's just gonna be more and more and more and more. So, like, I don't care what you think about a person individually. What does this have, like, what do you mean?
Because whatever Trump as a man has done, that's what he's going to have to deal with. But as a president in the second term, he is doing exactly what I want him to do.
Felonies and rapes. That's what Trump did when he wasn't a president. He raped people and committed felonies. These are things that have been adjudicated. These are things that he is, and some of them, admitted to doing. Apparently, that's just not a line for Steve, I guess.
And the only other option was Kamala, and she would have been an absolute train wreck. AOC would be an absolute train wreck. I want a person who can...
Why? You're demanding reasonable, rational arguments for why people don't think Trump is a good president, but you're not willing to provide any of your own reasoning as to why he's a good one, nor are you even able to provide why these other people would be bad. You're just stating this as if it's a fact.
Lead the country. And that's what Trump has been doing. He has done things that other presidents had said they were going to do, but didn't do. Obama and Biden both said they were going to eliminate waste. They didn't do it. They didn't set up Doge. And then you have people running around going, oh, I'm going to put a...
Can you imagine if Biden or Obama had set up Doge? Like, of course they didn't set up Doge because it's actually insane and is incredibly wasteful. It's a waste of money and it's obviously corrupt. I don't know what he's talking about. When did Obama say he was going to eliminate waste? Like, what are you talking about? These are the insane ramblings of a madman at this point.
Swastika on a Cybertruck to show Elon Musk. You know, it's like, what? What's going through these people's brains where they think that's a good idea?
What's going through your brain to think it's a bad idea? Now he's mad about swastika graffiti? What? Why are you mad? Why are you mad about the graffiti? What did the graffiti ever do to you? You're okay with the crypto fascists? Like, you're pro, we gotta protect Elon Musk here? Like, why? Why should we protect Elon Musk? Does he need help? Is he a little baby? He's just a little guy. So Steve wanted Trump to pardon the January 6th rioters. Yeah, good point. Is that what Steve wanted? People who assaulted police and assaulted the Capitol? You think that they should... No, I think he thinks that's all fake now, apparently. Maybe he thinks it was Antifa.
If you're a Jewish American, you walk outside and you have a Cybertruck and you see a swastika on it, first of all, you may not know what the hell they're protesting. You just might think, you know, some anti-Semitic person who's trying to kill me or something. I'm Jewish by culture, right? My mom's Jewish, right?
He's more mad about swastikas pointing out, like, you better know what you're protesting. Yeah, Nazis, Steve. People are protesting Nazis. People know what the boycott Tesla shit is. It's protesting Nazis. It's tagging a Nazi as a Nazi, dude. What the fuck? Do you know? Because it sounds like you don't. Like, are you seriously gonna defend the rich billionaire CEO because a penny that he has got defaced, that he left on the ground? Like, after he fucking heiled Hitler? In before we get a music review of Steve reviewing Kanye West's new song.
He was Jewish. The kids are Jewish. But who thinks it's a good idea to destroy other people's property because you politically disagree with them? Because there's no justification for that.
It's not about political disagreement. Do you actually believe that the thousands of people that Elon Musk is responsible for the deaths of is about a political position? No, it's about all the murder he's doing. It's about all the people dying under Doge. It's about all of the people that are suffering under Elon Musk's 20-year-old interns property, like the January 6ers. Yeah. Remember when Trump told the white supremacists to stand back and stand by? Oh, yeah. Kanye West's new song, What Did I Miss? Oh, no. Yeah, Kanye West dropped a new hit. Sorry, a new Heil, I should say. Of the Zich variety. Elon is a very fragile man. We need to protect him from the dastardly trolls who call him a loser on MMOs. Oh my god.
None. It's insanity that people are defending this crap. It's insanity that people are saying...
It's insanity that people are defending protesting Nazis and fascists. Jewish man, you want to call off your Jewish heritage like it's relevant, which it isn't. in this scenario that you've presented. But if you're gonna go ahead and be like, well, I'm Jewish and I'm offended by all these swastikas everywhere that are protesting Nazis? Da, 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 da. We boy.
Oh, well, Trump and Elon bad man with firebomb, go out and firebomb some Tesla dealerships. That makes no sense. Those people should be arrested for domestic terrorism.
So what about the January 6ers?
Absolutely be arrested for domestic. They're terrorists. What else do you call them? So if you want to ask me a question, do so by @me, Non Sequitur Show. So Joe King asked, do you think NPR should be done away with? Yes, absolutely. NPR and what's the other one? NPR and PBS. NPR has 78 people on their board. Out of those 78 people, do you know how many of them are Republicans, MAGA, or GOP? 0.
Wow, it's almost like it's not supposed to be political.
0. They're all Democrats. Far left-leaning Democrats, too, mostly. So why should we fund another political propaganda news organization? We shouldn't. So absolutely, I believe in defunding it, all of it. Just like I believe in defunding the Department of Education.
He hates Elmo now, I guess. He wants to defund the Department of Education. Steve McRae wants to defund education. Explain yourself to Elmo. Yeah.
You don't need it. We have departments in the states for that. Josh, $10 says, let's lighten us up. What's your favorite Collins Era Genesis album? First of all,
I like how his chat is like, okay, are you with Mr. Elon, Goon Squad, trust fund billionaire teenagers investigating SS of all things? Do you believe trans people? Elon is a con artist. I don't condone the vandalism, but Elon has been constantly lying for years. Do you value our Constitution? He's just not engaging. He can't do it. Steve is a DEI. Yeah, if Steve currently has a job, he is a DEI hire. Yes.
Genesis was only Genesis with Collins.
Rodent No Last Name says Steve wants diversity, equity, and inclusion for Maga at PBS. Yeah.
God dang it. With Phil Collins, because I don't consider them Genesis without Phil Collins. I'm sorry. And by the way, he started as I know Josh knows this, but people don't know, he started as their drummer and he ended up being their singer. That's talent. That's some serious talent. As far as my favorite album by them, I don't know.
What a weird thing to say. I'm not going to get into music theory, but that's a really weird thing to say.
If I had to I obviously everybody knows In the Air Tonight, Invisible Touch. I really...
And Robin's got a really good point in the chat, in Steve's chat. Yes, let the state teach creationism. That's what's going to happen if you make it state by state and you don't have a federal thing across the way. And also, if you don't have a federal way across the way, it means that it's harder for anybody who has an education in one state to work in another state because their education won't necessarily be equal. It might not necessarily be the same. They might not be qualified. This is a problem that we have in Canada that we're trying to rectify. But we're not trying to rectify it by removing our Department of Education. We're trying to break down the barriers to try to find better through lines for people. There are ways to do these things. It's just not what the MAGA people in America are doing. And this is why this is a Canada versus MAGA show. Because fucking people in America need to learn how to handle these motherfuckers. And the answer is do what we are doing.
I really don't know. I probably maybe Genesis. The name. What is it called? The name of their album was Genesis, but the band's name is Genesis, so they call it the titular name, right? The titular name. So Genesis was a good album.
Titular?
It was like 1983. Invisible Touch was in 86 because I was in high school, junior year. So those were probably my favorite albums because those were the albums that came out in high school. I do like Peter Gabriel. Peter Gabriel's talented, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it should have still been Genesis. Peter Gabriel, when he came on, it became Peter Gabriel, you know? Because Peter Gabriel's, I mean, he's genius. He really is. He really is. So to answer your question, Josh, I got to go with either Genesis or Invisible Touch.
Oh yeah, federal education systems are not the only way to go. State only is also not the only way to go. There's multiple options, but there are going to be barriers between locations, and so the point is to break down those barriers within your own country.
It's not the same time period where Boston came out, and Foreigner. Was it Agent Provocateur? I think, or was that the 70s? But anyways, I hope that answers your question. But yes, going back to joking, I do think NPR should be defunded. Yes. Somebody says, Steve, can you talk about the minerals or materials available in the country? We can't even manufacture a toaster with the resources we have. We have one thing in mind. Well, we do have a lot of reserved rare minerals, but they won't last forever. I think I looked into it. We had about $2 billion worth of rare earth reserves. And we do need to find more. And unfortunately, the biggest provider for rare earth right now, if I'm not mistaken, is China. I do think...
Who is the biggest provider of rare earth minerals to America? Oh, no, that's behind a paywall. Oh, look. Guess where I have to get this information from? NPR. Rare earth minerals aren't rare, but the U.S. is having a hard time getting them. Escalation dispute with global trade partners. President Trump calls for the Commerce Department to look at possible security risks from America's reliance on imported rare earth minerals. The ask comes after China curbed exports of some of those minerals as part of retaliation against America. China dominates the rare earth mineral market, mining about 60% of the world's total supply, and this dominance has raised concern about supply chain security. All right, there's your answer. The 60% of the world's total supply. I'm not sure what the total amount is going to be for, like, America's specifically. I wonder if I can find one. No, that's stock. I don't want that. Rare earth reserves, statistics. So I'm not seeing like the exact number for specifically America, but it's gonna likely be China anyway. I just don't know what the percentage is. My screen share is borked. Yeah, the screen share is gonna be a little bit borked. Hey! Terrador. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Said all this talk of McRae here and on Dap's channel reminded me of when he said it should be illegal to give puberty blockers to anyone under 18. Oh god, he's such a fucking idiot. God, he's so fucking dumb, dude. Like God, what do you think? When does puberty happen, Steve? How are you gonna block puberty when they're already 18, Steve? That doesn't make any fucking sense. God, I forgot about that. Why did you remind me? I am in pain. Thanks for stopping by.
I think that we need to get a lot, more people on board, economically speaking, for the countries, which I think we have probably enough now, where China has to either say, look, we're either going to work with you guys or we're going to make our own market. And it will be split. There'll be people that want to do business with us. There'll be people that want to do business with China. And we probably wouldn't allow people to do both. You pick one of us and China will be isolated. If that's what they want to do, go for it. Steve, please, for the love of God, look at the current global market. That people are not siding with America. Because the thing that made people want to side with America was America's stability and reliability. And now America is not only wholly unstable, but also unreliable as a partner.
And so being an unreliable partner, it would mean that why would anybody want to choose you over China? And, like, admittedly, China's got problems. Like, there are things going on in China. Like, I don't like the CCP. Alright? Like, that's not a... But this isn't about what their politics are. As a Canadian, this is something that I've, like, ping-ponged back and forth about, where I'm like, I don't like when other countries oppress their people. But it's not my job to fucking America, fuck yeah, kick the door in and tell them how to live their lives. That would just be me doing the thing that they're doing. So, like, if China and the people who live in China want to change, that's up to them, and we ought to support whatever the people of China want to do. It's not on me to dictate to them what they should and should not do and what freedoms they want or what government they have. We should assist them in any way possible. But, like, this isn't about those kinds of politics. This is about global trade between countries, not about individuals' rights. If you're talking about trades between countries, right now, Canada and Canadians have a more favorable view of China than they do of America. The view of America is on par with Russia right now, which is way down here. And the view with China is, like, way more up here now. So people are going to be, like, particularly, again, Canada, which is important, and I say Canada is important in this because not only am I Canadian, but also as we've been following through this whole debacle and the tariff war and the potential annexation from America, the threats coming from the White House, you found out and are currently in the find out phase of the fuck around bit that Canada is a huge supplier and a huge economic portion of what happens in America. So if Canada and Mexico choose to work with China and not America, and you've pissed off all of the EU, and you've pissed off fucking, like, the UK, who's gonna do trade with you? Who's gonna pick you over China, and why should they? Got out of my cave for the first time since 2020. What the fuck happened to Steve? He ate shit. He took a fucking sidewalk to the face, and he's just been deteriorating ever since. I am Canadian.
We cannot rely on other countries. We have to figure out a way
You
to
literally just explained why you would have to rely on other countries. Steve, you just laid out a scenario where you have to rely on other countries where they're either going to work with China or they're going to work with you. That relies on other countries making a decision. So what happened? And you're like, oh, and they're gonna pick to... You're just assuming that people are gonna choose to work with America. With completely disregarding that nobody fucking likes you. If nobody fucking likes you, then why would anybody work with you? You can't just assume that people are going to choose to work with America. It's not, and then therefore China will be isolated. China's not doing the things that are going to make China be isolated. America is doing the things. That's why you have submarines that are and boats, and I believe it was in Norway, that were refusing to refuel American vessels. That's why you have Australia not signing the deal for the Eyes in the Sky to America and signing it to Canada instead. That's why you have South Korea offering and selling submarines to Canada. That's why you have what's going on in Ukraine and the ties with Canada, and then everybody else except for Donald. It takes time to develop mining. Maybe that should have been done first. Right! If America wanted to separate out, fine. There are ways to do it. This is not the way to do it!
Or at least be able to trade with other countries where we have a fair trade relationship and not be taken advantage any longer.
Define it. Show how... You want to talk about logic, you want to talk about reason, you want to talk about argumentation. Show me where you were being taken advantage of, who was it by, and how, and what fairness even means at this point. Like, it's delusion. It's actually just delusional. Tell Elmo... Oh, wait, sorry. No, Elmo's been canceled. We can't tell Elmo. No Elmo, guys. I'm sorry. We can't have Elmo ask. Maybe Canada will just adopt Sesame Street, because that'd be great.
So I am fine with that. So I do think we need to find more resources, but I do think we have minds that we can.
Yeah, breaking legal deals in illegal ways to throw up tariffs to purposefully try to harm your allies in an attempt to strong-arm them into different trade deals is definitively not the definition of playing fair.
Get tap here. So, what else we got? Am I okay with young people working on Doge? Yes, absolutely. I prefer it. Absolutely. Look, I was 1920. I was 21 years old.
That's not the question. They're not asking you if you're okay with people being young. They're asking if you're okay with that whole scenario. Are you okay with Elon's goon squad of pimply-faced trust fund billionaire teenagers investigating Secret Service? That was the question that was asked. They didn't ask, are you okay with them being young? What the fuck? Actually? Are you for real? You guys see what that actually says, right? Like, you see, this literally says, but are you okay with Mr. E. Asgland's goon squad of pimply-faced trust fund billionaire teenagers investigating Secret Service of all things? And Steve's response, and the way he read this question was...
Am I okay with young people working on Doge? Yes, absolutely. I prefer it. Absolutely.
That wasn't the fucking question, Steve! Holy shit! Oh my god! What was I saying a minute ago about delusion? Wow. Fucking wow. Like, I get it in some cases if you don't want to read, like, the way a question is phrased, or you don't like the way somebody said something, so you, like, tweak it for stream a little bit. I mean, this is the non sequitur show, so, like, obviously that's not applicable. But... like, so that was just a blatant misrepresentation of the question. That was just a straw man and not even remotely close. This isn't a trade policy, it's a hostage situation, and they wonder why they're not capitulating. I mean, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
Absolutely. Look, I was 1920. I was 21 years old when I first got to my ship.
And were you investigating were you in charge of the captain of the ship when you were 21? No, that's not analogous, Steve.
23, I was fully qualified to operate a 150 megawatt reactor and train people.
And were you suddenly coming out of nowhere investigating something that you, like, a completely different fucking thing that you had no information about with no clearance? This is not analogous. It would be more analogous to say, hey, I joined the army, I did basic training, and then I was put in charge of the railway system in Japan. And I was investigating that the rail system in Japan was operating at maximum capacity, and I was there to eliminate waste. So I fired everybody that worked on the rail line, and then surprise, surprise, the Japanese subway system went to shit! Like, this is not even remotely close. Like, this is not even remotely close to analogous to what anybody is talking about. So even the fucking question that he strawmanned, he's not even answering it in a way that makes any goddamn sense. Grandpa! It's time for your medication again! Holy fuck! Time to go back to bed.
People to operate a 150 megawatt nuclear reactor. So yes, I do think that people...
So you had 3 years of training? Directly? Fucking insane. This is insane. It's devolving so fast. It's devolving in real time.
50 megawatt nuclear reactor. So yes, I do think that people in their early age are a lot better at absorbing a large amount of information, because I can memorize a crap ton in my teens. I'm talking full-on memorization of textbooks verbatim Verbatim.
Prove it. Prove it. I don't believe you.
I would have to memorize things. I still remember things verbatim. For example, I still remember this, like the pressure exerted on an enclosed fluid at rest will be transmitted equally and undiminished throughout the fluid and to the walls of the container. I had that memory.
Yeah, and I know the song The DuckTales. What the fuck is your point? That doesn't prove anything, Steve.
Memorized in nuke school. Never forgot it. Because we had to do a lot of rote memorization. Right? I also remember pi, 3.14159265358979232. You know, I just was able to memorize a lot of stuff. Am I able to do that now? No. Not by any stretch.
Why not? Is it because you bashed your fucking head and you haven't done any proper exercises or done any proper treatment for the fucking brain injury you got? Guys, he memorized pi. Ooh. And I know 150 plus Pokemon. This doesn't make any sense. This doesn't matter. You know you can exercise your brain. Like, being old isn't an excuse. Because that's what he's using right now. He's like, well, I'm old. I can't memorize things anymore. Yes, you can. You just might have to exercise your brain and practice doing it more. It might not be as easy as it used to be. But it's not like it doesn't fucking happen. Can you not learn how to play a new game? If I handed you, like a keyboard, would you not be able to fucking type? Like, what are you fucking talking about? Am I still drinking at fallacies? No, I'm just drinking. I should have put a beer in the fridge. I didn't. I should put it in the freezer, right? You know what? I was gonna try and get through this without any beer, and I changed my mind. I'm gonna put a timer on the screen. The timer is when the beer comes. Yeah, mini break, guys. It's a mini break, guys. It's a mini break. I gotta get the timer going. It's fucking hot. It's warm in here. What the hell? I'm sweating. Ugh. Wonderful. All right, hold on. Let me get a timer. Live production, everyone. Yahoo. Let's see. Virtual set. Title. There we go. We need a timer. Let's get a green one. Yeah, got a green one. All right, we want 40 minutes. 40. 00. We want it to count down. Let's see if I can get it visually on the screen for us. There it is. It's so tiny. It's so small. It's like me. We're just gonna put it... yeah, let's put it up over here. That's fine. It can stay up there. Is that good? Can you guys see that okay? Nice. 45. 45 minutes. That's how long it takes for the beer in the freezer to be good. Alright, countdown. Why did it start at 0? Oh, countdown from 45. 45. Play. Go. Why you like this? Oh, duration. 45. Display format. Yes. Stop time. Okay. Play. There we go. Okay, I got it. Listen, sometimes it takes a second. Sometimes it's been a while. It's been a while. I'm toasting. I am melting right now. What is the temperature? Oh god, it's 24 degrees, and I'm wearing these big fluffy ass socks. What am I doing with my life? Good god. Do I have a can of compressed air? No, I do not, unfortunately. I should, but I don't. Sadly. I've appeared on a few live streams, blind, drunk, and still made more sense than Steve in this stream. I know, right? Holy brother. Alright. Shall we? Oh, I am really sore. My bed is toasted, so I got a new one. It just showed up today, so hopefully tomorrow I will not be in so much goddamn pain. I do not fucking envy anybody who's got any chronic pain. Holy shit, I don't know how you guys do anything. You're a hero. If you've got chronic pain out there, you're a champ. Holy shit. Oh, it's been like this for like a week and I'm dying. Alright. Back to, what was he saying? What was he talking about? Oh, he was misrepresenting that person's question. Because memorization, he can't learn anything new because he's old, even though he's changed his position to Maga, which therefore means he can allegedly claim that he can learn new things, but, you know, whatever.
I just was able to memorize a lot of stuff. Am I able to do that now? No. Not by any stretch of imagination. My cognitive functions
Why not?
are nowhere near what they were when my 20s.
So what? Just age isn't enough to do that to you. So why? What, like, so what? Like, again, why is your cognitive ability so pathetic now? And if you know that your cognizant abilities and capabilities are so bad now, why are you blindly relying on them to, and not, like, double-checking information and not trusting experts?
But I can tell you right now, whenever there was an emergency, we got the job done. When there was a reactor scram, we shut down the reactor properly. When we
The fuck does this have to do with you being okay with a bunch of kids with no security clearance and no fucking information or knowledge of a subject investigating and firing people that work for Secret Service? Oh, nothing.
To start up the reactor, we understood the physics well enough to know how to start up that reactor safely. We knew if we could do the calculations. We understood the physics well enough to know how long do we have to wait to start up the reactor, because when the reactor would scram, it would produce a large amount of these called noble gases like xenon.
Secret Service, social service, I don't know. Aren't they investigating all of it? Isn't that what Doge is doing, investigating everything? Is it supposed to be social service? Because I thought they were doing Secret Service also. Well, either way, same thing's applicable.
That would be a neutron absorber. So if you have a large peak in xenon, promethium, samarium, and other neutron absorbers, you have to raise rod height a lot higher during a startup to get the initial point of adding heat to your moderator.
Can I point out, by the way, that memorizing facts doesn't mean you know how to apply them applicably? Like, there's multiple ways to learn, and memorization is not the only way and is not exclusive. So, like, even if... Yeah, investigating. Yeah, investigating is, like, hefty quotation marks. There's a, memorization is just one way to learn things, and it does not mean you know how to apply the thing that you've memorized. It's the same thing as saying, hey, listen, memorizing a textbook about archery doesn't suddenly make you an archer. You need to actually practice archery. You can't read books about being a surgeon. You can't read books and learn a surgery and then just go and perform it. You still need the knowledge. You still need the practical. You can't just memorize things and be like, oh, I know it now. Like, that's just not how learning works. And some people don't learn through memorization at all. Not like reading memorization. There's more than one way to do that. Right? There's muscle memory, there's like all kinds of different ways to learn things. So for him to lean so heavily on this, we're back to Steve leaning on shit he did in his 20s. What have you done recently, Steve, to demonstrate you even still have any capabilities?
To get your reactor power up. And you don't want to raise your rods any higher than you want to because you're exposing more fuel, which lowers the overall life expectancy of the core.
Dave McGinnis says, do you think that Big Balls knows how to do the calculation on the economic impact of shutting down large swaths of government? Yeah, good question. Hey, since he claimed that Elon and Trump have been getting rid of all this fraud and abuse stuff, how come nobody's been charged yet? And how do you expect somebody to have actually investigated this properly within such a short period of time? Investigations and reviews like this take years.
And there's other physics involved too, but we understood the physics involved. So we were able to say, hey, look, I'll give you an example real quick. I know it's going to be.
Oh my god, Magicus. I don't know, Chesh, I've heard Jared Genesis make that literal exact argument about learning surgery from YouTube, and he seems a lot like a pretty smart fellow. No.
Boring, but whatever, it's my show. An officer one time told me, hey, Petty Officer McRae, can you put number 1 engine room in this lineup? In other words, close this valve, open this valve, do this, and this. We're running off steam from one reactor at this particular knots. And I told him, I said, actually, I can't. I said, the manual, the operating manual.
Is there somebody named Paul in the chat? Just said, wait, is this for real? This isn't a LARP. He's not kidding. He's not kidding. He's not joking. Oh my god.
Standard, what's called the standard operating practices, SOP, says very clearly the only time, and we were doing some kind of, like ship, we were working with other ships doing stuff, like showing off. I don't remember the exact details, but we were with other ships and we were going really, really fast. And I got the order at full bell or whatever. We're at full throttle, or close to it, but we wanted to put the lineup in a number 1 engine room rather than number 1, number 2. And I said, the only time you can do that is very clear when you have a battle short condition. And what battle short is a button in command and control, or IC control, where if you push that button, the control rods would not automatically drop if there's a reactor scram. Normally, you have these control rod drive mechanisms that are powered, that keep their control rod lifted. Basically, they're like a...
God, I can't imagine why this channel isn't doing well, and why Steve's viewership and subscriber rate has plummeted. I can't imagine why. Man, baffling.
Screw, and then you have these things that come down over the screw and fit into it, and they rotate.
Back in my day, blah, 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 blah.
Screw goes up and down, raising and lowering the rod. And so when they lose power, these things are spring-loaded, they'll pop open and drop the rod straight down through gravity, or spring-loaded, depending on your core design. But I told the officer, who was a junior officer, I don't remember if he was one of the ones I trained or not, because I used to train the officers, but I said, I can't put it that lineup. We're not in a war. We can't put it in battle short. He relieved me of my duty.
Alicia says, Steve, memorization was good enough. Chernobyl wouldn't have melted down. Big old man tells rambling story about nothing energy. Yeah, he completely misrepresented the question. Then it went off on this complete tangent of absolute nothingness. Like, there's nothing going on here. He's not saying anything. It's completely unrelated. Terrador said apparently he was really good at his job. He's still spewing a lot of number 2. Haha, bird. Apparently he was really good at his job, but not good enough to get a degree.
And I said, okay, that's fine. I got called in the chief engineer's room, called the Chain. Chain asked me a very straight question, very straightforward. He said, Pat McRae.
Leo says, is this a real-life version of Old Man Yells at Sky? Yes. Yes, it is. Definitively, it is that.
You ordered to do this. What is this lineup? I said, yes, sir. He said, did you? I said, no. And he said, why not? And I said, can I show you? And I showed him right there. The only time it could be in this lineup.
Didn't he just say that he set it up?
The temperature, at this pressure that we're at, because there's something called brittle fracture. If you guys are familiar with that, you don't want your materials at a high temperature to shatter. We're doing these to keep the reactor going. You know what he said? That's it. I was like, I was like, that's it. That's it. That's as far as it went.
Guys, Steve allegedly made a good decision one time while he was in the Navy.
Because I knew enough about the plant to know what the junior officer was asking was wrong. So these people that are working on Doge, absolutely, I'm fine with them being young.
Which means that there is no reason to expect an ICE agent or a Doge person to not know any better for violating constitutional laws and people's rights.
Matter of fact, they're better at it. better at it than probably the older people because they know the technologies. They know the newer stuff. So, anyways, so yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that. But
again, that wasn't the question.
Anyways, what are the questions you got?
Just answering actually one of the questions being asked would be a good start, Steve.
I don't see anything at me, so if you want to ask me a question, do at. I'm not going to be going much longer. I have literally 8 minutes, and then I'll be calling it a night. I've got to take my meds, which I take every night.
I told you it was time for... Did I not say a minute ago, Grandpa, it's time for your medication? Isn't it not upsetting how correct I am about this shit? Good God. So he says he has 8 minutes before he has to go because he has to take his medication. It's at 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 38 seconds that he says that. The stream proceeds to go on for until 1 hour and 35 minutes. So he misses his medication timing. Just by a little bit.
I'm going to probably be trying to do this full time because I can't work full time. So if I'm going to do anything full time, I'm going to do mostly my Twitter, which, by the way, I don't make a dime off of my Twitter. I didn't go Maga for that. If I wanted to make money off
Wow! He fucking called out that he before anybody said anything, he needed to call out that he definitely wasn't grifting for money, guys.
Politics, I would have gone Democrat probably, but there's a lot more to talk about, right? I'm not gonna be able to fit it all in 90 minutes, but what I wanted you guys to know that there's reasons why I am Maga.
Giving us one reason and argument would be good. One would be nice.
No, I didn't just pull this out of my, ass, right? But if you want to think that, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with people on it. There's not going to be a topic where I debate it. It's not going to be a topic where I really discuss it with people. I'm going to be mostly giving my view.
Then why are you here? And why is it on the Non Sequitur Show channel? Good fucking God. Interesting, though, that he recognizes MAGA tend to be grifters. Whoops.
Views on it, and if people want to listen, that's great. If they want to disagree, that's fine too. But I'm not going to debate because I've realized at certain times I just cannot get through to people. The major problems they're having is that it's always comes down to Trump's doing this rather than, but what is going on that's really wrong?
I have literally talked about how Trump is only part of the problem and that it is actually large swaths of Americans that are doing stuff like this on top of fucking... It is not just one guy, because if it was just one guy, he would have been ousted by now. It's the Republican Party supporting him through this. It's your Stephen Miller. It's your other guy. Let me show you guys something. Hold on. Let me pull something up for you guys. I'm gonna show this to you because he's sitting here making this fucking bullshit, fucking random ass fucking point. He's strawmanning because nobody's actually fucking making this argument. He's just saying these things because he's just misrepresenting people. I'm gonna show this for you. This is from Jesse Dollamore. He's on YouTube, so you can check out his YouTube channel. But I just want to show you this real quick. It's only 2 minutes long. Watch. Oh, hold on. Let me fix this so it's not like fuckled. Check this out.
Look, I don't know how much more evidence people need to understand that Donald Trump is not in control here, and he has no idea what he's doing. But maybe this will seal the deal for you.
Thank you very much. We have some executive orders that we're going to be signing, so I'd ask Will to maybe explain them.
Yes, Mr. President.
Who was in charge of this one? And this was on gas heaters.
Next, Mr. President, we have House Joint Resolution 24.
So what did they do?
They
increase the energy efficiency requirements.
That's a big one, isn't it, huh? Common sense. Okay, Will, go ahead.
Next, sir, this is House Joint Resolution 42.
Explain that, please.
Sure. And lastly, sir, we have House Joint Resolution 75.
Do you have the sink one in here? The sinks and, okay.
Thank you.
You want to discuss that?
Yes, sir.
That's fantastic. Maybe I'll ask Will to step forward.
He can't read, guys. He can't fucking read.
Through some of these.
Sir, the first executive order. Next for you, sir.
Will we look into the past people? Is that part of this? And this pretty much does it, right?
Sir, a major priority. This next executive order. Next, sir, we have an executive order. Next, sir, we have an executive order. Lastly, sir, we have an executive order.
I'm going to sign it now, and maybe I'll ask you, Will, to explain a little bit about it.
Of course, sir.
I just want to ask Will to come over. I've just finished signing some executive orders, and if we could start with that, Will, you might want to come up here and just explain what we did.
Good afternoon, y'all.
I'll ask Will to go over these individually.
We have...
He doesn't know what is in the fucking shit he is signing. He doesn't know what these executive orders fucking do. He's just saying, I want this done, and then just getting everybody else to fucking put it together for him. And then he doesn't know what he's signing. He can't read.
have 56 sub-cabinet level appointments. Second, we have acting designations. Next, sir, the Federal Executive Institute.
Does this look normal to you? Does this look like what like a president doesn't know what he's fucking signing, or what it does, or why he's doing it? Does this look like you go look at any other president signing half as many fucking executive orders, by the way? And like, is this what they looks like? No. The fuck?
Next, this is an executive order relating to the use of paper straws. Nobody really likes paper straws.
Number one trending. Okay. We're signing a regulation bill, and you might want to discuss it, please. Somebody could explain it.
First, we have a list of pardons and commutations.
And how many people is this? Anything you want to explain about that?
Motherfucker didn't even know when he signed a bunch of pardons for January 6ers that that's what he fucking signed, dude.
This is a proclamation. This is an executive order. This next executive order. This is actually an executive order.
That's a big one.
Yes, sir. Sir, this is an executive order. This next order relates to the definition.
He has to fucking, like, this is an executive order. Yeah, they're all executive orders. He's been signing executive orders for like an hour.
Birthright citizenship.
That's a big one.
Birthright
This
citizenship.
is a proclamation declaring a national emergency.
That's a big one. A lot of big ones, huh?
This is an executive order taking a large number of executive actions.
Okay. Sounds reasonable.
What? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you high? Are you mad? What the fuck? Let me just put this one back just a little bit. Just a little bit.
National emergency.
That's a big one. A lot of big ones, huh?
This is
National emergency. That's a big one. What's the emergency? Why are we signing this? What does it do? He doesn't fucking know.
an executive order taking a large number of executive actions.
Okay. Sounds reasonable.
Tell me who the puppet is again.
No puppet. You're the puppet.
Look, I don't.
Brother. Here's an executive order for taking a lot of executive actions. Oh, that's a big one. Sounds reasonable. What are the actions? What's happening? What the fuck? I also recommend checking them out on fucking YouTube. Here's a link to the Blue Sky if you guys want to check them out, give them a follow. But like, what? So if you wanna ask, again, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not American. But if you want to ask an open-ended question and then say you're not gonna, because keep in mind that Steve at this point has said multiple times he's not talking about this, he's not debating about this, because he doesn't like the way people are, he's trying to tone police, because he doesn't like the answers that he's getting, because he's not even fucking addressing the actual questions that he's getting in his own chat. But yet, He gonna go ahead and turn around and say like, oh yeah, but people aren't bringing up like actual problems, like what's wrong? They just don't like Trump. Motherfucker, I just showed you 2 minutes of clearly shit that is not okay. What the fuck? Brother! Oh my god.
Major problems they're having is that it's always comes down to Trump's doing this rather than, but what is going on that's really wrong? What is wrong with arresting a judge that's living with gang members?
Guilt by association. The same reason you don't arrest somebody because their husband's a pedophile, because they might not know and they did no crime. That's why. That's what's wrong with it. It's called fucking proper justification. It's called the law, Steve. What the fuck do you mean what's wrong with arresting somebody who didn't do anything because they happen to be in the vicinity of someone else who maybe did something wrong that we don't even know if they did something wrong because we haven't tried them yet? What's wrong with arresting someone because they were associated with somebody that you're declaring without due process as a gang member? Gee, Steve, I don't know. What about not following a court order? If Trump, hypothetically, if Trump were to not follow a court order, or, I don't know, do something unconstitutional, like accept a plane from Saudi Arabia, if he were to do that, would that be a problem? I am the law! Law!
And that's taking gang members to go out shooting. There's a problem with this. There's a problem with illegal immigration. There's a problem with immigration.
Just because there's a problem with illegal immigration doesn't mean you suspend the rights of the Constitution to solve it. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And some ways are more effective than others. Beating the cat with a stick is not really a good way to skin a cat, for example. So maybe you don't. Maybe beating America with a stick is not a good way to fix legitimate concerns and legitimate problems inside of America. I don't think the immigration problem in America is anything but racist identity politics, for the most part. But that doesn't mean there are zero issues and things that can't be improved, but they're within reason. And they're within logic, and they're within progressive, what do we do to make this situation better? Not fucking outsource our justice system and our concentration camps, Steve! I'm pretty sure we can find middle ground between those two things.
Immigrants getting Social Security numbers and getting on the rolls from Medicaid.
Letty makes a good point and says, remember the entire Caffeine Corner about guilt by association? Pepperidge Farms remembers. Yeah, I remember. You could go on to Steve's channel and find a guilt by association video. You could probably take this video and go find Caffeine Corner episodes and respond to Steve with Steve from those episodes.
The problem with immigrants getting Social Security numbers and getting on the rolls from Medicaid. And getting
hey, I have a question. How come guns aren't the problem? If you're worried about gang members shooting people, why are you not concerned about the guns? Funny thing that... Good idea, now do it. I'm not doing that. Listen, that'd be a lot of work. And I've already invested way more time than this ever deserved. I'm perfectly content to let Steve sail off into obscurity.
Social Security numbers and getting on the rolls from Medicaid, and getting on the rolls to cast your vote during elections, because there wasn't.
That's not a thing.
Illegals that voted, and I don't know how deep the campaign fraud goes. I
Prove it. What campaign fraud? You mean the stuff that Trump admitted to when he said if the election wasn't rigged, I wouldn't have won? You know he said that out loud, right? Steve literally said that out loud. Hold on. Or sorry, not Steve. Trump. Let me See if I can find a clip of it. See if this is the right one.
They all came in on the Olympics, and then I saw Johnny, and we got the World Cup too. And you know, it's only because they rigged the election that I'll be your president representing you there. You know.
It's only because they rigged the election that I'm the president.
I got both of them. I got the Olympics and I got the World Cup. And I said, you know, it's too bad. One was in 2026 and the other was in 2028. And I said, I won't be there. I won't be your president. But then they rigged the election and now we won. So I'm going to be your president for the Olympics and for the World Cup.
You want another one?
Look at that, June 12th, 1775. So we have a very, very special day coming up. You know, we have a lot of them during this term. And interestingly, I had none of them had I not had a rigged election. Had the election not been rigged, I would have been out of here. I would have been gone. The radical left would have said, we got rid of him finally. But
oops. Fucking uh-oh.
But I do believe that Jasmine Crockett will probably be eventually arrested too. Why? Campaign fraud. The Act Blue...
What? You just accused Jasmine Crockett of campaign fraud? How? Why? Where? What are you talking about? What the fuck? He's just spouting. He's like, oh, the people, the people that don't agree with me are doing crime. Hosting the World Cup isn't a flex. Yeah. Say, don't be surprised if the Olympics don't end up happening in America. Like, don't be surprised. The White House supposedly is upset with Canada right now, and is trying to prevent Zelensky. Mark Carney invited Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, the prime minister of Canada, invited the president of Ukraine to come to the G7 meeting, which is hosted in Alberta this year in Canada. And the White House and the American administration isn't happy about that. And they're like saying like, no, don't bring him. That's not allowed. But why are you bringing him? And I'm pretty sure in less words, Canada is saying, bite me. Godless Cover for 2 said the World Cup bid started in 2013.
There's major stuff I think is going to happen with that. And if people don't know what Act Blue is, Act Blue is what they're supposed to do is this. They're supposed to get grassroots donations and then take those little donations and then distribute them to people that are running for office. Nothing inherently wrong with that. But the problem is they weren't grassroots donations. They weren't these...
So then clearly Steve has a problem with the amount of money that Elon Musk donated to Trump then, right? And the amount of equity that he donated to Trump using Twitter. Or, you know, the amount of money that Elon Musk threw into Wisconsin for that justice seat, right? No? Don't have a problem with that? Yeah, he means Act Blue, yeah.
Mom and pop spending $5 or $10, $100 donating to the political candidate of their choice. No, what it was people donating a large amount of money over 20 different times, over 20 different names, or even the same name 20 times.
And why is that a problem? What's the illegal part of it?
And Act Blue lowered their fraud detection levels in order to accommodate that.
And you have a citation for this? You have a reference? You have an example? You have Doge cutting the shit out of them and so they weren't able to check things? No? You have anything for this? You're just gonna say that?
So they lowered their accommodation to receive these illegal contributions. And
how are they? No. How are they illegal? You haven't said that they're in any way how they're illegal. You just don't like the amount of money that went to whom. That doesn't make it illegal. I don't like that you took a bunch of people's money and then didn't sue Katie Joy like you promised you were going to do, and then never gave that money back. That's fraud.
They knew they were doing it, and they took the money anyways. Josh Gardner, Josh, $10. Stop it, Josh. Stop. You do enough. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
Josh, stop fucking encouraging him. You should stop. You should be very concerned.
If anybody else wants to super chat, by all means. But Josh, I appreciate it. I still love you too, man. And like I said, Josh is one of the very few people I can call in the middle of the night, and I know will listen, and vice versa. So I'm just telling everybody out there right now, if Josh says so, it's gospel to me. As far as people I trust, we don't have to agree on everything, but he is.
Josh donating multiple times is fraud. Yeah, multiple times under the same name must be fraud. Yo, Ash Scott is right. Ash Scott on point. What the fuck?
One of the best people I've ever met in my life. I have, 3 people that I know are just
He gives me money, so he's one of the best people ever.
amazing human beings. And that's rare.
Yeah, and Jack Analysis has gone over some of the receipts that Steve posted about that GoFundMe, and they're a little sketchy, to say the least.
That's rare. So, all right. Anyways, what other questions we got? And by the way, if you're not tagging at me, I'm not going to be able to see it because I did get a bigger
I'm blind.
monitor. I really did. But unfortunately, I still have a hard time reading the live chat.
Steve, press down the control key. Like, go onto your live chat, press down on the control key, and use your mouse scroller to scroll forward. It will make the text bigger. Or if you're still struggling, go into your browser setting and change the font and font size. You complete moron. You using your incompetency as a way to not actually address the questions in here because they didn't tag you when there are legitimate criticisms in here and you just don't want to address them. Like, why are you even bothering?
So nobody has any other questions? Because I'm going to be wrapping this up in 4 minutes. I just want to thank you guys for hearing me out. And again, follow along. Don't follow
You're welcome.
along. It is what it is. I hope you guys do. Because if you guys don't agree with me, I think you would still subscribe to find out when, I'm streaming on this stuff. So you can come over and say, hey, I don't agree, but here's why. I
heard a rumor that a couple of people got fucking banned out of this channel because they said they didn't agree. Like, for example, we saw one of them, somebody added April, and then April never showed up in the chat.
Be civil about it. I may get back to you, I may not. I don't know.
We
Because
literally just are watching you right now ignoring legitimate questions and criticisms in the chat because they didn't tag you when you didn't set that precedent beforehand. Good God.
Tired of the acrimony, the uncivilness of people when it comes to politics.
Oh, people are mean to me. I don't like that they use mean words and say I'm an asshole. Tone police. You have to talk to... I am a special little boy, and so you need to talk to me in a very special way, and I'm very concerned about kid with ball. But what about kid with ball, Steve? Yeah, Trish, why don't you address your criticism? Your hair, ick. I did go to the hairdresser and got my hair done the other day, if you noticed. It's all floofy now. Look at that. It's all floofed. It's still wet at the moment, but look it's all like super nice feather layered. And I'm like, get chonky. He can't just change the rules on the fly like that. One kid on the playground. Yeah. Selective reading, hearing. Yeah, very selective. I mean, it's his show. He's allowed to answer whatever questions he wants, but he's literally complaining and bitching and moaning that he doesn't want to talk to people. And then then he asks people for questions, and then he turns around and misrepresents them and doesn't answer them, and then is like, but give me questions, and then ignores the questions that he's getting because they're not tagging him, therefore he can't see? Like, pff, this is giving me... You guys remember when I showed up and I talked to Russian vids for the first time and the last time because he ran away and never came back to any of, like, the Flat Earther channels again after I was there? And I came on the screen and Russian vid says, "Can you turn your video off? I can't hear you." Fucking, huh? After a 3-hour rant talking down to everyone who didn't vote for an obsessed orange rapist, yeah.
And I'm not saying that I'm above it. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. But the difference is I'm
not trying to be a hypocrite. I just am. He knows he's being a hypocrite. Look.
The uncivilness of people when it comes to politics. And I'm not saying that I'm above it. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. But the difference is I don't talk to people like Josh uncivilized if he disagrees with me. I don't say, "Hey, Josh, you don't agree with me politically. You're Hitler. You're siding with a dictator."
But you're literally siding with a dictator. This isn't hyperbole. This isn't being mean. You are literally siding with somebody who said out loud that they wanted to be a dictator. You are siding with somebody who literally fucking did a Nazi salute. And what the fuck? Uncivilized. Yeah, he means lack of civility. Yes. Yes, Leo, you're correct. Yes. Ah! Unreal. Unbelievable. Hold on, I have one more thing to show you. Wait, hold on. This is gonna trigger warning. Trigger warning. I'm gonna trigger warning you all right here, right now, just real quick, because I just want to demonstrate how I'm not being hyperbolic when I'm talking about this stuff. Yeah, it can be funny. Yeah, it can be goofy. Yeah, we can have a good time. But I like this one. When you call Trump Hitler, you're calling 80 million Americans Nazis, and the answer is yes and. Let me hold on. I put it in Discord. Let me find it. Give me 1 second. Uno momento. I'm sorry, Roden. I can't play the Simpsons clip. It'll get me in trouble. Here it is. Let's open this real quick. Let me fix the thing so you guys can see it properly. Oh, that's the wrong one. Nope. Boop. There you go. So, again, trigger warning. I would need to give you guys enough time. So, family says woman declared brain dead, but her pregnancy continues under state law. This is what I was talking about when I was talking about Project, the 2023 conservative thing, and when I was talking about Project 2025, and how I was saying when you force people to not have access to abortions and you force people to not have any kind of choice, these are the scenarios you're going to start seeing where women and pregnant people and children are forced to stay, like, alive on ventilators and things. Family says woman declared brain dead, but her pregnancy continues under state law. Adriana Smith has been on life support for 90 plus days with weeks to go in her pregnancy. Her family questions Georgia's heartbeat law and why they have no say in her care. Atlanta. The family of a 30-year-old Metro Atlantean mother and nurse said she was declared brain dead more than 90 days ago, but is still being kept alive because she is pregnant. A registered nurse at Emory University Hospital was nearly 9 weeks pregnant in early February when she started experiencing intense headaches. According to her mother, April, she sought treatment at Northside Hospital but was released after being given medication. I'm not being hyperbolic. When I'm saying you're supporting a dictator, I'm not being hyperbolic. Here's more of the story. Let me zoom it in for you. You guys see that okay? They gave her some medication, but they didn't do any tests, no CT scan. If they had done that or kept her overnight, they would have caught it. It could have been prevented. The next morning, they said her boyfriend woke up to her gasping for air in her sleep, gargling sounds he believes were caused by internal bleeding. He called 911. They were taken to the hospital and later transferred to the university hospital where she worked at. A CT scan revealed multiple blood clots in her brain. Quote, they asked me if I would agree to a procedure to relieve the pressure, and I said yes. They called me back and said that they couldn't do it. She was declared brain dead. Her family have been by her side every day since, including her young son, who they said still believes his mother is just sleeping. Quote, she has been breathing through machines for more than 90 days. It's torture for me. I see my daughter breathing, but she is not there. And her son, I bring him to see her. On Tuesday, Smith was moved, which doctors told the family is better equipped for this type of care. The plan is to keep Smith alive until doctors believe the baby can survive outside the womb, likely at 32 weeks gestation. The mother said Smith is currently 21 weeks pregnant. Under Georgia's heartbeat law, abortion is banned once cardiac activity is detected, typically around 6 weeks into pregnancy. The law includes limited exceptions for rape, incest, or if the mother's life is in danger, but in Adriana's case, the law created a legal gray area. I don't think it did. It seems pretty straightforward. Her life is not at risk. She's already brain dead. This is not a gray area. It is very clear that by law she should be kept alive in this state, and I think that's fucking terrible and fucking awful. Because she is brain dead, no longer considered at risk herself, her medical team is legally required to maintain life support until the fetus reaches viability. Hey, that's a thing I just said. The family said doctors told them they are not legally allowed to consider other options. Quote, I think every woman should have the right to make their own decision, and if not, then their partner or their parents. Remember when I said these anti-abortion laws affect men? Yeah, her boyfriend has to watch this. Her family has to watch this. Her dad has to watch this. Steve, is this what you want for your kid? God forbid? She adds that while the family might not have chosen to end the pregnancy, the fact that the law stripped them of that choice has added to their trauma. The mother said doctors told the family the baby has fluid on the brain and they're not sure how much fluid. They're concerned about his health. Oh, the baby likely not survive either. Quote, decisions should have been left to us, and now we're left wondering what kind of life he'll have, and we're going to be the ones raising him. With no end in sight and mounting hospital bills, because they have to pay for it, the family is also worried about the long-term financial impact. Smith's body is being kept alive through intensive ongoing medical intervention, care that may continue for several more weeks. Quote, they're hoping to get the baby to at least 32 weeks, but every day that goes by, it's more cost, more trauma, more questions. For now, Smith's family is left clinging to hope and advocating for change. She said she wants people to understand the human toll of Georgia's laws and the emotional weight of being stripped of medical decision-making during a crisis. In most cases, in other states, the decision would defer to the mother's wishes or those of her next of kin. This is also under the assumption that it would be difficult for the fetus to make it to viability with the mother's condition, so the family could choose to terminate. In this case, because Smith is no longer technically at risk, doctors are required to maintain life support until the fetus can survive on its own, regardless of the family's wishes. Gee, I don't know, Steve. What's wrong? I don't see any problems. I don't know what you're talking about. Here's the article in the chat for anybody interested. I'm not being hyperbolic. It's not people being mean to you, Steve. You don't get to fucking tone police this shit, you fucking fragile little bitch. Grow up.
You are just like that. I can't bring myself to do that. Josh, $20. I don't want to say F you. I do what I want because all my other stuff got demonetized. But thank you, Josh, for another $20. I appreciate it.
My beer is ready. One moment. Why didn't you guys yell at me about the timer? How long has that been there? Is my beer frozen? Oh no. Hey, Josh, you should probably stop financially incentivizing this piece of shit. The doctor should be required to pay for it. The state should be required to pay for it. If the state's gonna make it a law and they're gonna force it, the state should be paying for it. My beer is ready. It could have been in there a little longer. It would have been fine. Jeannie makes Steve 4 months pregnant and then traps him in Georgia. What does he do? Yeah, Steve, what do you do? What do you do in this scenario? Oh, sorry, my bad. Maga don't have empathy or compassion or sympathy for other people. They don't care. This is why I've been calling these people anti-choice, not pro-life.
Funny, because, like I said, he's not even MAGA. I have not had one MAGA person donate a dime to me. So if you're MAGA, shoot me $2.
You literally just made this video. And you're already, have this weird entitlement and expectation of people's money. After you're like, I'm definitely not grifting, guys.
At least know I'm supported by MAGA, because I'm not, like I said, I know that MAGA agrees with me, but I don't have any MAGA people that are, actively supporting me. So don't think that I do. I still have some atheist stuff to do.
Terador said, when Steve moderated debate, he always allowed insults to be thrown in regardless of that being the right thing or not. He can't now complain that people are being mean. He's just a hypocrite. He's just being a hypocrite, and he knows he's being a hypocrite. That's why he said that out loud. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, but I'm being a hypocrite. I'm allowed to fucking say shit. He fucking accused Manya of fraud. That didn't happen. He accused me of blackmailing him. That didn't happen. He fucking accused Charla of swatting him, and that didn't happen. The man is delusional. He bashed his head and got brain damage, and he hasn't been treated. It's really that's what this is.
And agnostic stuff to do too, by the way. I want to get back involved.
Can he do atheist stuff if he is not an atheist?
And agnostic stuff to do too, by the way. I want to get back involved in that as well. Some really interesting stuff happening along those lines. Some really good review videos that I wanted to do because there's some really good discussions lately.
Guys, remember, after this video, he was going back to making content to full time, so he's going to be doing content all the time. Letty said, quote, I believe this position and nobody around that supports this position is supporting me. Doubt. X to doubt. Oh yeah, there's no way. There's no, we already know that that's not true. He said that one of the main reasons he changed his mind was because Chris Attlee had been telling him to change his mind and talking to him and convincing him for years. For years. I don't know, Manya did send multiple donations to the same person. It kind of sounds kind of fraudy to me. Yo, Ash is killing me today. Ash, you're on point today. You're locked in on my funny bone right now. Oh my god.
I'm not turning Christian, by the way, not by any stretch of imagination. For the guys who don't know, I am officially, this is not my religion, okay, not my religion, but I am officially a member of the Satanic Temple. A card-carrying member.
Oh boy, maybe I should let the Satanic Temple. Dave, is Dave McGinnis here? Dave, are you still here? You might wanna, you might wanna. Oh, hey, hi, Dave.
That says Steve McRae, a holy pope of agnosticism. So I am definitely not Christian. I believe Christianity is wrong. I believe Islam is wrong. I believe that pretty much every religion is wrong. But I'm just not at the point where I think that I can safely say there's no intelligence behind reality, because I have no clue. I just have no clue.
There's no, I can confidently say that there's no intelligence behind reality because I don't know. Is that Steve? We spent years talking about this. It's just the argument of ignorance. You don't know, therefore it's not? Oh my fucking, he forgore. Bro, he forgore. I'm dying, dude. This is so fucking stupid, man.
I've lit up many nights thinking about this stuff, and I've reached the point where I realize that at a certain point you have to realize it's just a mental exercise. You're not going to come to a conclusion. You have to accept it. We're all going to live, we're all going to pay taxes, and we're all going to die. And
well, I mean, not everybody. You seem to have a problem with those immigrants who you don't think are paying taxes, who are paying taxes. Kent Hovind didn't pay his taxes. He's one or two more bonks away from being Kent Hovind. Kent Hovind makes more sense than this. I'm not gonna lie. I was on some Kent with Bent in the early days. I've also watched Kent Hovind over on Dapper's channel a couple of times, and Kent Hovind makes more sense to me than what the fuck Steve's going on about, especially
a Metro Atlanta mother lies brain dead in a hospital room, being kept alive only.
Excuse me?
So her case is now raising a lot of new questions about Georgia's controversial heartbeat law. Adriana's...
Who invited you here? So wait, he's given up? I guess he's just giving up. I don't know. I'm not sure if Steve knows this, but the Satanic Temple doesn't tend to like people who bash trans people. Okay, Dave, everybody who knows what Steve is like. In before, I'm making a bet, I'm making a prediction here. In before, Steve makes a video bitching and whining and moaning about how he was removed from the Satanic Temple, how he was excommunicated for no reason. Sorry, yeah, Roden, that's what I was getting at. At least Hovind is consistent. Hovind has been saying the same shit and running the same script for a really long time. He's still stupid, and he's still wrong, but he hasn't, changed the script. Steve has completely flipped and reversed course on things, thanks to Chris Attlee, I guess. Which I guess we're gonna have to go look at some of Chris Attlee's videos. Are you guys interested in that? You guys want me to take a look at Hereticals? You want me to take a look at Chris Attlee and see what the fuck he's been going on about, and maybe we can figure out how he managed to convince Steve? Which I think is probably just through brain damage. He took advantage of Steve's brain damage and then was just persistent. Should we take a look at that?
My health scare got me to the point to realize that my mortality is a reality, and I'm not scared.
Oh man, Feline, tell me how you really feel. God damn, Chris can fuck off to the deep end. Wow, why? Wait, what? Please elaborate, I'm curious.
Live, we're all going to pay taxes, and we're all going to die. And my health scare got me to the point to realize that my mortality, at a certain point you have to realize it's just a mental exercise. You're not going to come to a conclusion. You have to accept it. We're all going to live, we're all going to pay taxes, and we're all going to die. And my health scare got me to the point to realize that my mortality is a reality. And I'm not scared by it. I don't believe there's a God that I have to believe in to realize that. If there's something afterwards...
You believe there is no God, therefore you're an atheist, Steve? Is this your coming out party? You're the one Maga atheists? The agnostic position is that you don't know one way or the other. Now he's saying declarative that he does not believe in a God. Did Steve just royally fuck up his whole fucking thing? If you ever needed proof that the what's actually gone on here is that Steve actually just got brain damage, and like that's what's happening here, this is not like a fucking. This isn't a meme. I mean, it's a meme, but it's not just a meme. There's truth behind this meme, and that this is not the same person that everybody was dealing with like back in 2019. Like this is not the same person. If you ever wanted proof that people could change, so if you wanted to change your life, just go bash your head against some sidewalk. I don't fucking know.
Deal with it then. But it's certainly
no.
not.
He said there's no God. That's what he said, right? Did I mishear him?
Going to be that you don't believe in God, you send to this hell for eternity. That's not a loving God. It's got to be something other than that. Got to be, if it's intelligence. But, you know, I still have, you know, I still have my blood work and I still have a lot of other stuff, but I'm definitely feeling much better. I really am. That is true. But it really did make you think, right? But people don't know my brother was 50 when he passed. He died of the exact same thing that I had. Well, pretty much.
Oh, God. Was your brother also a cop? Do we have another time-traveling police officer brother? Is that the direction we're going in?
He died of colon cancer. And, you know, I have to have colonoscopies every year. I highly recommend it. I'm just going to tell you guys, if you're over 50, go get a colonoscopy. Don't put it off.
What a weird thing. I have to get a colonoscopy every year. I highly recommend it. Listen, people should go get themselves checked and go get your colonoscopies if you're the right age. I should be going for a mammogram. Like, go do those things, yes, but what a weird way to phrase that. Terrador says, maybe RFK's brainworm is the Maga stuff we believed all along the way. Hey, Twitwit, good to see you. Can't Stay just wanted to say hello and that Steve is gross. Hello. Also, yes. Is your brother Munchkin? The Munchkin. The return. No. Don't do this to me. I mean, to be fair, we haven't checked in on Vic Mignogna in a while. Let me know if you want me to check in on Vic Mignogna.
Don't put it off. Because I would absolutely have probably had cancer at the rate I was going.
Hashtag fuck cancer.
And so highly recommend it. Seriously, just go get it done. And it's so easy too. There's nothing to it. I was all like, oh, it's
not that easy for everyone, Steve. You have medical because you're a veteran and not everybody has that. So what should we do for the people who can't go and don't have medical insurance? And what if they're an immigrant who don't have access to Medicaid? Then what, Steve? How are they going to go? Where are they going to pay for it? It sure would be easy to get medical care if we had universal health care. Wow. Wow.
It's going to be horrifying. Honestly, I didn't even notice anything. You know, it just felt like maybe, you know, like somebody was wiping my ass. I don't know. It was nothing. It was absolutely freaking nothing.
Yeah, Steve just said there was no God, and he believed there was no God. That's pretty definitive.
Awake the whole time, but there was like an hour, and it was like literally like 1 minute to me because I was sedated.
Unless I misheard him, which is whatever. It's dumb anyway. It's just a joke.
So don't be scared. It's not painful. Go get it done. Keep yourself healthy. I
have a question. Steve's a veteran and he's getting his medical care through veteran stuff. When the veteran stuff gets cut, which it is doing, and it is being cut by Doge, we've talked about this before. When those cuts hit, how is Steve going to be going for his regular colonoscopies? How is he going to pay for that?
Tonight, a Metro Atlanta mother lies brain dead.
Who invited you here? Shut up! So how is Steve going to keep paying for all these medical treatments that he regularly needs to go to, that he thinks are great and that everybody should get, and that he thinks should be easy for people? What the fuck? The fucking lack of fucking self-awareness.
And it was like literally like 1 minute to me because I was sedated. So don't be scared. It's not painful. Go get it done. Keep yourself healthy. I I did have. I broke down. I got some pizza tonight. I'm sorry because I just wanted to do this tonight and have some damn comfort food. But I eat every morning. I eat a salad. I have tea and coffee.
Why is this on the non sequitur show? What the fuck? I broke down and got a pizza. Pizza's not unhealthy. Just get the right kind of pizza in the right amount and you're fine.
Salad. I have tea and coffee. I basically will eat bananas. I mean, I've been trying to eat a lot healthier. And so it's made a big difference in diet. My cholesterol has gone way down because I'm on medication for that. My blood pressure has...
So it had nothing to do with your diet. You're on medication to bring down your cholesterol. Zero to do with my diet has really helped, but my cholesterol's gone way down because of the medication. What the fuck is going on? My brother in Christ. What the fuck are we talking about? I don't know. Why isn't this just blog talk? Guys, you remember, like, circa 2018 to 2019, circus 2019, when we made content, we were around Steve, for those of you who were there, that Steve would laugh? He hasn't laughed once this entire time. He's so fucking miserable, dude. Pizza can be healthy. Yeah, gluten-free, cauliflower crust, healthy cheese, pesto, side-run tomato, spinach. Yeah, absolutely. Thin, you don't have to get, like, super greasy. You can have it, like, thin crust. You can have it without cheese if, like, that's your real problem. Like, you can have, like, get meats that have less fat or more fat depending on what you need. It's all just, like, nutrition is 100% based on you and what's going on with your body. I never thought I'd be nostalgic for Kyle's Grinder stream. No! Yeah, no, pizza can be fine. Have you considered making the pizza at home and just making it in a way that suits your diet? Yeah, even unhealthy pizza is not bad in moderation. Yeah, exactly. Like, if the issue is there's too much grease in the pizza, because pizza, or if it's, like, too fatty, just make it at home. You can just buy pizza ingredients. You can also just make pizza ingredients. You could do something, tell you what, Steve, instead of streaming about stupid, shitty MAGA stuff, why don't you stream about your health journey? And talk about how you got your healthcare through Veterans Affairs and what risks Veteran Affairs are at from a political standpoint and the things that veterans need. And then talk about, like, but I was able to get this, and here are some resources for other veterans in America. And here's some dietary changes that I need to make. And so here's what I ate, and here's what I changed, and here's what worked for me, and here's what doesn't work. You know, that might be a positive stream instead of you just being a miserable fuck. Because, like, that's all this is. I'm making spaghetti tonight. Is spaghetti unhealthy? No. It just depends on what you put in it. Making food at home. What are you, my mom? Yeah, right, like... Maybe Charlotte will send him a fucking pizza. Fucking Megan's been there the whole time, and she's just like, yes, please, get a colonoscopy. It can save your life, heart. Megan, shut the fuck up. Listen, Megan's been begging to, like, talk to me and come on the channel and chat with shit. Well, I mean, she didn't, like, specifically be like, let me on the channel. She's just like, talk to me about these things. I know you're not gonna see, I'm trying to make sure that you see this, blah, 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 blah. She really wants to talk to me. I'm like, Megan, come onto the channel and you can talk to me about the shit Steve said in this video. How about that? That'll be a good time. You fucking cunt.
Has gone up for arteriosclerosis, but I've been managing that. But as far as, like, all the other stuff, yeah, diet has made a big difference. So, but anyways,
diet has made a big difference. Except, especially in this thing that is the medication doing it. But yeah, anyway, the diet's made a good difference. I'm not going to explain or talk about it at all. I'm just fucking saying words, dude.
Guys, thanks for sticking in there. And thank you, Zebulon and Taboo Topics.
No! Thanks for sticking in there. He's smashing things together again. He did that last time, but I didn't call it out. I'm gonna call it out this time. It's sticking it out, hanging in there. Thanks for sticking in there. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for supporting this horse shit. Like, you do realize he is acknowledging out loud that because you are supporting him and showing up and having conversations, he's still doing this and feels entitled and enabled to continue doing this shit.
And everybody else, because again, if you don't agree with me, that's not an excuse to be a shitty person, right? You can disagree with people on politics and not be a shitty person to them. Like, you know, Chris and I disagree. I don't have to be a shitty person to him. So by all means...
No, Chris and you agree. That's what this whole stream is about, is that you fucking agree with him now. That you changed your mind and you agree with him now. What the fuck are you talking about? And yeah, you don't have to be shitty to each other, but you're defining being shitty to each other with you're allowed to use mean words, but nobody else is.
You don't
grow up.
You can hate MAGA and hate Trump as much as you want. I don't care. It doesn't...
You care very much.
I'm not supporting Trump. I'm not even supporting MAGA, really. What
What do you mean? Can I get screaming goblins in the chat, please? Can I get screaming goblins, please? Arms in the air, screeching into the heavens, into the void. What? What do you mean? What? Fucking! Sorry, I have to get something. I'm sorry, hold on. I have to get something. Oh my god! Where are you? Come here, you. Give me this. I need this real quick. Ugh. Sorry, excuse me 1 second. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for this. Holy shit. Hold on. You're not gonna be able to guess what I'm doing. Don't try. You don't know what I'm doing. You'll never know. You'll never figure it out. You won't guess what I'm doing. You don't know. You don't know my life. You're not my real mom. Here we go. Let's just make sure that this is as loud as possible. Please prepare your ears. It's a screaming frog. What in the fuck? What in the actual fuck? Unbelievable. I mean, I've also got this one that Letty made, and I wanna put out there because, like, I feel like it's appropriate. Listen, I only said Maga was right about everything and that I'm Maga now, but I'm not, and like anybody who just like disagrees with Trump is just disagreeing with Trump because it's Trump and has nothing to do with actual policies, and Democrats are brain dead, but I'm not really supporting Trump or MAGA. I'm just agreeing with everything they say about everything. I'm only making this video saying that anybody who disagrees with them is wrong. That's not support, guys. What the fuck are we doing? Oh could this happen to me? Oh my fucking god. I am this thing for hours on end with a pin tweet describing in detail how he is that thing. 5 minutes from the end, I'm not actually this thing. I'm fucking dying. This is so stupid. This is the same. You guys remember when I did that really big long Ronell video? And in that big long Ronell video, I was like, no, you guys, we need the build up. You have to wait till the end. And this whole time she goes on this spiel about how she's like, oh my god, my husband has cancer and like I wasn't able to get with this thing and I put this information out there, but my husband has cancer, so therefore I can't be criticized and I can't be fucking, you can't blame me for my behavior online because my husband has cancer, and like now this person is trying to like come after me, but for things that were happening, and my husband has cancer, and then like she cut her video at the very end and just said, oh, by the way, my husband doesn't have cancer. That's what this is. Oh, by the way, I'm not actually supporting what the fuck do you mean? Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage. Who was it that decided and said that fucking, who was it that decided that the Trigglypuff needed to be changed to Steve? Who was the genius in this chat that said that? Holy shit. I'm not really MAGA. Why I'm MAGA? I'm not even supporting MAGA. Guys, I'm not even supporting MAGA. I feel like that just needs to be an audio clip. Holy shit.
You can hate MAGA and hate Trump as much as you want. I don't care. It doesn't, whatever. I'm not supporting Trump. I'm not even supporting MAGA, really. What I'm doing is supporting America. And MAGA and Trump...
I'm doing this for America. It's over. We're going home, everybody. Goodbye. Good night. That's all, folks. I'm doing this for America. What if it's Eagle Screech? Oh, sorry, a hawk screech over top of a picture of an eagle because Americans don't know what eagles actually sound like. That's the funniest shit I think I've ever heard. I've heard some dumb shit in my time covering MAGA people. That is probably one of the funniest things that I have heard so far. Holy shit. Yeah, MAGA is anti-American. Yes, yeah, they don't like the Constitution, they don't care about the Constitution, they don't care about the Declaration of Independence, they directly go against and are fascist, which directly goes against, like, the freedoms that America promises. So yeah, no, MAGA is anti-American. Like, that's... listen, it's funnier because it's after like an hour and a half and like us covering it for like 8 hours or however long we've been doing. Fuck it. Salad for breakfast, saying so. Yeah, salad for breakfast is not necessarily the healthiest thing either. Like an egg and a potato is pretty healthy. 10-hour stream about agnosticism. Actually, I'm an atheist, you guys. For fuck's sakes. They did a big number on dumbing down America, and it's really sad. Yeah, fair enough. I believe I have a lot of history with the Trigglypuff, as I gave Unirock that name and suggested it for Steve. Oh, was that you? I can't. Yeah, that was! That's right! God, that's a good time. That was a good time. The W in America stands for white. The upside down W, which is an M. Locale says what? Oh, is that what we need? Yeah, hold on, I got that. Yeah, I got that. Hold on. Oops, that's blue sky. Hold on, no, I got that. I got the locale says what? Oh my god. Oh. Whoo. Hold on, I got that. Just a second. Where is it? Where's that? Yeah, here it is. No, I got a shorter one. I had a shorter one, right? I didn't have it in shorts. I wouldn't desecrate my videos of Puck with fucking Aaron and I mean, I lost my mind for 7 minutes about this stupid bitch. Is it on Madia's channel, actually? Hold on. The short one, I mean. I put out the whole 7 minutes of me losing my fucking mind. I got it. Hold on. Give me a second. I got it. I've got this. Hold on, I got this. No! She doesn't have it either? Okay, I guess it's just my long-winded one. Maybe there's a clip. I could have sworn I did a shorter edited version of this. Am I crazy? Did I not? Did I not do that? I could have sworn I did that. I could have sworn I made a short one. I do have her nagging Egghead.
These creators produce content that tasks individuals they view as adversaries in a negative light. I'm sorry, locale say what? Seriously, like what?
Lolka said what? Do that! You can't.
Seriously, like what? Series in a negative light. I'm sorry, locale say what? Seriously, like what?
Lolka said what? Like, seriously, what? Oh my god, do you have it? Did you find it? Oh no! Oh no, what is this? Okay, so somebody sent me this from a clip.
I never said that. I said, if he just said, he just said...
What?
If he just... No, I never said...
What? Oh, look how thin my hair is at the end of this one. Damn. Holy. Good God. 4 years ago. Yeah.
Right now is best for America, by far. There's no doubt in my mind about it. Because I'm not supporting Trump. I'm not even supporting MAGA, really. What I'm doing is supporting America. And MAGA and Trump right now is best for America, by far. There's no doubt in my mind about it. Because I do...
Based on what? Based on what? Give me data, Steve. I thought you weren't supporting Trump or MAGA, and now you're saying, I don't support Trump, I don't support MAGA, I support America, and MAGA and Trump are just the best. That's supporting them, Steve!
I'm not supporting Trump. I'm not even supporting MAGA, really. What I'm doing is supporting America. And MAGA and Trump right now is best for America, by far. There's no doubt in my mind about it. Because I do believe, 100%, without question, without reservation, that the Democratic Party has had years of corruption, years...
The first thing he said was without question, and I think that says a lot.
That the Democratic Party has had years of corruption, years of fleecing America, stealing trillions of dollars through NGOs, untraceable...
Based on what? Based on what? Without question? You should be questioning it. If this is true, these people should be charged. Yeah, those are hefty allegations. Prove it. That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
Money, fraud, and they're deliberately lying to you. The people like Adam Schiff and other people, they know they're guilty as hell. It's not a matter of just Trump. See, like I said, there's
Steve just knows how to read people's minds, I guess.
People with Trump derangement syndrome that I literally believe he's dangerous and he's the dictator. I can at least understand that to some degree, because if you really felt that the president, who has done nothing of the sort,
except all the fraud that he did and the coup, like the fucking terrorism, the fucking January 6th insurrection that he incited, and, you know, besides the rape that he did that was fucking shown and proven in a court of law, so besides all those things, I guess, and like, have you seen Trump? Hold on. I got one more. I got a John Oliver clip for you. Just give me one second. Hold on. And then I'll be done, and then we can go over to Dapper's stream, who's live right now, and that's way better than this. All right? Just give me one more minute of your time. Just.
Last week, Trump got a lot of attention when he seemed to try and prepare Americans for economic pain by saying this.
Maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know? And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally.
What a very weird thing to say. And it's just another snapshot in the chaos album that is Trump having anything to do with children, because you can now put kids will have $2 instead of 30 right up there with the Lawn Boy scream. And that time he asked a kid if she believed in Santa Claus because, quote, at 7, it's marginal, right? And when pressed on his comments a few days later, Trump doubled down.
You said, quote, I'm going to quote what you said, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30.
Yeah.
Tara Dora makes a really good point. January 6th was done by Antifa. That's why Trump pardoned all those patriots.
And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally.
I don't think a beautiful baby girl that's 11 years old needs to have $30. I think they can have $3 or $4.
Okay, there is so much there. A beautiful baby girl that's 11 years old?
Yeah, Steve, what's wrong here?
Call an 11-year-old that. First, it's creepy, and second, I promise, you call an 11-year-old girl a baby, she'll fucking kill you. And also, to think the prime age for playing with dolls is 11 is almost impressively wrong. Everyone knows the breakdown of what
it gets worse.
Age goes blocks from ages 1 to 3, dolls from ages 3 to 7, and our phones from ages 8 until we die. And then incredibly, on Air Force One, he tripled down.
All I'm saying is that a young lady, a 10-year-old girl, a 9-year-old girl, a 15-year-old girl.
A young lady, a 10 or 9-year-old girl? Steve?
Doesn't need $37. She can be very happy with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
Every single way this man refers to girls makes my skin want to turn inside out. That said, I did also want to see him keep going there, just to see how many variations of ages and numbers he could cycle through. All I'm saying is a young lady, 10-year-old girl, 9-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl, 45-year-old girl that's still young at heart, doesn't need $37. She can be very happy with 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 or 8, but also 9, and in its own way 10. 10 dolls she could be happy with, couldn't she? Or maybe 11. We can't rule out 11 dolls. Or
oh my god, Ash! Where I come from, 11-year-old girls don't play with dolls. They don't need to. They have babies of their own. No!
Or 12. 12's a good number, isn't it, folks? 12 apostles, 12 days of Christmas, 12 angry men. Henry Fonda, great guy, right? The other men, very angry men. That's who we've got to get out of this country that's coming over illegally. Or you know what? 13 dolls, that's my final offer. So now it appears he thinks that 15-year-old girls are playing with dolls. Has he ever met a 15-year-old girl? That's a dumb question. Of course he has. He was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. But the thing is...
Womp womp. Alright, let's get to the end of this. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's nothing wrong, Steve. There's nothing weird or inappropriate or, like, wacky for a president.
See him putting people in gas chambers. I mean, the hyperbole is remarkable.
What are you doing? You're sending people to concentration camps in El Salvador, Steve! without due process. Steve, against court orders. Steve. So yes. No, listen, if it's not literally gas chambers, it doesn't fucking matter. What the fuck? What a weird way to just excuse all the human rights violations and legal ignorance of like the law of America.
Dangerous, and he's the dictator. I can at least understand that to some degree, because if you really felt that the president, who has done nothing of the sort, I don't see him putting people in gas chambers. I mean, the hyperbole is remarkable. But even if
it's not hyperbole. I've given you 4 examples of it not being hyperbole just now.
You did believe that wholeheartedly. I can understand why you would push against that. I do. But the people that know that's the false statement, the people that know that's not true, they're the ones.
Is he not sending people to fucking... Is he not? Because you already agreed in this video that we already watched the parts that they are sending people to concentration camps. Aren't you saying that they don't count as concentration camps because they don't have enough gas chambers in them? Is there a minimum number of gas chambers required for a concentration camp? How do you know if they do or do not have gas chambers in El Salvador? Yes or no? How do you know that? And if you know that, how did you verify that that's true? And if that is true or not true, why does it, what's the number? What's the number of gas chambers allowed, Steve, before you consider it a problem? How many concentration camps are allowed before it's a problem, Jewish man?
Ones that have been fleecing America. They're the ones that are corrupt, and they hopefully will be eventually arrested, because I do think justice is coming.
So you think it's okay to arrest political opponents? So you think it's okay to arrest people who disagree with you? Free speech, guys. Free speech.
They're making indictments. I think they're going to be arresting people in the FBI, in the Department of Justice, hopefully some congressmen and senators as well. Because what I think they're doing is saying, hey, look, he's going to start arresting judges, and then he's going to arrest people in the FBI, and he's going to arrest congressmen. Oh, he's Hitler. When all along...
No, he's already being Hitler and doing Hitler things, and this is the progressive of advance. If you want to know, look at abortion rights and women's rights. They are literally following a fucking playbook. Steve, you chuckle fuck. Open your ears, you dense motherfucker. Unfucking believable. I do like that somebody pointed out in his chat that Steve's saying he's now MAGA, but Steve's saying he is now MAGA, but now says he isn't cool.
These people are corrupt. They deserve to be arrested.
No, he can't open a book, Feline. He already admitted he can't read.
Because they are treasonous. And I mean treason in the literal sense of the word.
No, you don't! You mean it hyperbolically. That's not what treason is, Steve. Define treason. That's not what treason is. Because if that's the case, then you have a fucking guy who did a bunch of felonies, who stole fucking cancer money, like charity money, that he's not allowed to run a charity in New York anymore because of it, who's been fucking grifting off of fucking taxes, who's fucking raped people, who fucking is in your fucking presidency office, and you're fine with that. Fucking, he's taking bribes from fucking from Saudi Arabia, and he did a tu quo que thing that we had to all talk about in 2016, and you're sitting here being like, just drink bleach, guys! Just inject bleach right into your brains. Bring it in, and it's gonna clear out your lungs. What the fuck? Terador says CCOT is not a concern camp. It's a work camp, just like that other place in Poland.
Legally, can you count it as treason? It depends. Sedition.
So he knows he's being hyperbolic and is just accusing everybody else of being hyperbolic when I'm being literal.
Very, very specific things. But they definitely violated the law. And they're definitely funneling hundreds of millions of dollars.
And that's why not a single one of them has been charged with anything yet. Under a government that's supposed to be super strong and super powerful and super has all the power to do that, and that's why they haven't charged anybody with fraud yet, right? Yeah.
Billions of dollars.
Are we the baddies?
This is no way that I'm ever going to be able to not see that. This is no way. So.
No way you're not going to be able to see the thing you haven't demonstrated? You know, you talked about making content. Why do you make content actually demonstrating these things?
Anyways, guys, that's my little rant.
It wasn't until 19... Yeah, you don't start with concentration camps. You don't, like, start off at 100, dude.
Guys, I appreciate you guys listening. It has now been 93 minutes. And
You're welcome.
Thank you guys very much. Please leave me a comment. But like I said, if you guys disagree with me, I probably may or may not respond, but feel free to do so. But if you come at me sideways, all that's going to happen is that you're going to get deleted.
Tone policing.
You come at me sideways twice, you're just going to get blocked because I don't care. I'm not here to try to get a bunch of subs. I'm going to tell you what I honestly believe and my positions. And those who want to listen will have the opportunity to do so because I still have a voice and I still have a channel. And as long as I do, I will fight for my country because I'm a fucking American.
Ooh, he's a fucking American, guys. Ooh, he's super serious.
Good night.
Oh, thank God we're done. Oh, he bashes his mic at the very end, because of course he fucking does. So there's like a whole bunch of comments here. You'll notice that I love the honesty. It's not easy to change your views. Oh, that's interesting, because Steve in this video claimed he didn't change his views, and yet Hereticals, which is Chris, the guy who changed his mind supposedly, has his comment pinned to the top. Let alone do it publicly. Lots of respect. One thing to correct you in, I don't have a PhD in political science. My area of study is history, but politics was my minor on my undergraduate degree. We could go into the comments, but I think we've been live long enough that, I don't wanna. Maybe we'll talk about it another day. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want me to cover his like crazy trans video, or if you want me to take a look at Hereticals and you want to take me a look at, take a look at Chris, I do believe I saw Chris and Claire, ex or old friend or still friend moderator, not moderator anymore, for Aaron, talking about how pro-Israel they were. So we can take a look at those things if you want, but let me know. Good God. Bold ideas are gospel. Comments we disagree with will be deleted. Non sequitur believes in open discourse. Teehee. I mean, that's where we're at. That's where we're fucking at. Stop being a creep. Stop being a fucking weirdo, you fucking nutcase. Like, what the fuck is going on? I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me today. There's a video over on Debate Hub, so go and check that out. I will be dropping it as soon as it is done uploading, so probably in like a couple of minutes. And head over to Dapper's channel. He's live right now. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you next time. Bye!
I disagree infinitely about the way that was dumb, and I hate it. And I hate it. By the way, I hate it. I think it's dumb and I hate it. And I think that it's dumb and it's stupid.